What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to the first ever tuestorial. So like I say, welcome in. This is my brainchild because I am a coach, I am a sports science graduate, I'm a PE teacher, and I have all of this knowledge that I've accrued over the years, and it's just sitting there in my brain, and I want to use it to help people. So if this video can help one person, then I win, they win. That's what this is about. I'm literally going to empty my brain into here each week and give you the things that I've learned that might help you, that might provide value. This week we're going to look at the 5 most common running technique errors that I have seen over my time coaching and how you can start the journey of fixing them, because what you have to realise is that it is a journey. There are no quick fixes in changing your running technique, but the number one thing here is that I'm going to try and teach you how to identify the technique flaws and then what you can do to start changing them. This is just for you to evaluate your technique. So let's get cracking. Technique flaw number 1, crossing the midline. Now I see it all of the time in running. When I'm driving my car to work or I'm out running personally, I'm looking at other runners, and one of the biggest technique flaws I see is crossing the midline when you're landing with your feet. You have to imagine that there is a central line running in front of you as you're running. And if your feet cross that midline, then you're moving from a forwards propulsion force to rotational. People get lots of IT band injuries, which runs down the side of your leg, or outside of the knee injuries from crossing the midline, because that's where the pressure is placed. To fix it, really, you just have to think about widening your stride that little bit. It feels like you're running like John Wayne at first, but that's the starting point. Point 2, overstriding. Now, you've got to imagine that your ankle, knee and hip are all set up to absorb force. When your foot puts force down on the floor when you land, then force goes up from the floor. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So for every down force is a force up. If you are overstriding, which means landing in front of the center of your mass, then what you're doing is you're creating a force in front of you that's going to run not neutrally up your ankle, knee and hip. It's going to run diagonally up. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on all of those joints. Also, it's going to be a greater force because you've spent more time in the air and you're landing in front. Really, what you've got to try and look at is landing more neutrally. So when your foot lands, it's already under your center of mass, under your body, absorbing the impact in the ankle, knee and hip. Point 3, heel strike. Now, heel striking is exactly what it sounds like. It's landing on your heel. It can be the cause of a lot of different injuries, because not only, usually when you heel strike, are you also overstriding, so you're landing in front of you, but you're also landing on your heel, which means the forces are being absorbed in the heel rather than neutrally, and they're traveling diagonally up the ankle, knee, hip. But to be honest with you, if you're just starting out your journey, or even if you've been running for a long time, a nice neutral landing on the center of your foot is probably the easiest way to run long distance and avoid injury, because that's how you absorb most of the impact. Point 4, it's an arms race. I didn't really know how else to word that. I want to make it sound a little bit interesting. So, arms are one of the most neglected parts of running. People don't really consider that they could even do anything with the arms, that they would even make a difference, but actually use them right and they can make a hell of a difference. Use them incorrectly and they can cause all sorts of injuries and certainly slow you down. So when you think about your arms, it's the same as the legs crossing the midline. What you've got to think about is that there is a central line here. Anything driving the arms forwards, up and down, so you want to think hands hip to lip here at a 90-degree angle. But the moment you start crossing the middle line, your body is either having to compensate for the rotation by engaging the core more, or it simply is rotating. And if you think about it, rotating is not driving you forwards. So all that forward momentum is being lost in the rotation and it's slowing you down. Another thing to consider with your hands, which I really liked, is Paula Radcliffe once said that in order to make sure that there's no tension in your shoulders, you should be nice and relaxed in your upper body. What she used to do is imagine that in each hand she was carrying one Pringle, and for the whole race she wasn't allowed to crush it. Because a lot of people run with balled up fists like that, and all that tension goes into the arms, shoulders, back. That's going to cause all sorts of issues as well. So run with relaxed hands. Imagine you're holding a Pringle in each hand. Job done, nice and relaxed. Don't cross the midline. Point 5, it's all in the hips. You remember that from Happy Gilmore? No, just me. Anyway, it's about the hips, and what I mean by that is if you hold your hips in a nice strong neutral position, engaging the core. Okay, if I was going to do it here, my body, hips held nice and neutral, body slightly lean forwards. Not at the shoulders, no hunching, but the body lean forward there. The reason for that is that when you do lean forward, your momentum drives you forwards. So if you ever see anyone running with an upright body, really upright, actually they're depriving themselves of all that forward force. They have force in their body, but it's not being used. And that's it. The 5 most common mistakes. I hope that this tutorial has helped you in some way. These will help you identify some mistakes you might be making and start the journey of putting them right. Each week I'll be putting together a tutorial on different things that I think can help. So if you want to see something, you want to see me talk about something that you don't know about or you want help on, then let me know. And what I'll do is I'll put together a tutorial for it. This is the first tutorial. I will improve, I'm going to keep learning, I'm going to work out better ways of delivering this information. So if you like what you've heard or I've added value, then make sure you subscribe, like the video. Give me a comment if you want me to make a video about something you want to know about, no worries at all. Also, I've done a video about the fact that I'm offering free coaching to 2 people for a season, if anyone is interested. I don't think it's going to be here, it's probably over there, don't know where it's going to be. Have a great Tuesday, have a great week. I'll see you on Sunday for the vlog. It's my birthday weekend. Peace out, see you next week.